Hi, this is Mr. Ullman, and today we're going to go over what we did in class with Google Earth. So once again, it should be in your applications folder. Google Earth looks like a blue moon. So you just double click it and it will open. You always get a tip. That's up for you. You can look at it if you'd like, but for the most part I just close them. Google Earth is a map or a globe that you can zoom into and you can see great amounts of detail. In class we went through what layers to have available. So I'll pull those up and just reiterate those again. Each one of these you open the triangle. We wanted borders but not labels. Under photos we wanted panorama and 360. Under 3D buildings we want everything. Under ocean we'll have explore the ocean and the National Geographic. These other ones you can turn on occasionally, like you might want to look at shipwrecks, but for now we're going to keep that off. Okay, under gallery you will open up 360 ancient Rome, and then you also want to open at the very bottom is YouTube. Once again, you have to be careful. YouTube is not filtered, so if it is an inappropriate video on Google Earth, you need to just close out of that. You need to be a responsible young adult. On the last one, which is more, we also want Wikipedia. That allows you to look immediately at an article that will give you background information on the topic. And how Google Earth works. You have controls over here. Your plus or minus will let you zoom in or zoom out. So you can zoom out, you can zoom in. Okay. You can also tilt the world up and side to side, so you can control the way the Earth moves. You can also click your mouse and just control. Okay. So we can move the Earth around a little. Up here, this is click to look around, so you can look up. You're tilting your head up to see what's around, and you can tilt your head down. You can tilt your head to the right, or you can tilt it to the left. This controls the orientation of north, so you can see the world's kind of upside down, and I spin it back around to north and it looks like kind of what you're used to seeing. Okay. The next piece about this is we talked about visiting places, so I'm just going to pick some random places. We picked, we picked earlier Beechwood, but since we picked Beechwood, let's pick somewhere else. So I'll do Akron, Ohio. By typing in the city or the actual name in the fly to, don't go to business but fly to, and hitting return, it will automatically fly you into that city or that place. And so as we zoom in, it takes you down to Akron, Ohio. And we can't really see much, so you can zoom in, and as you get closer you begin to see the city, the downtown area. There are images. Each box is an image, so by clicking it, it will open up the images of that building. There is a YouTube. So, I don't know if this is appropriate, but the YouTube will pop up and you can play it. Okay? And I'm not sure why that's there, but it may not be relevant. It may be. So we can zoom down. This is Canal Park. I can see there's a baseball diamond, so I can take a picture of what it looks like. There's Canal Park. And we'll just kind of zoom into Canal Park. So by double-clicking on the baseball diamond, I zoom in closer. Remember, this is a satellite image, so you are consistently zooming closer and closer to the ground. Here is a good example of Wikipedia. You can click it. It gives you all the details about where you're at. It gives you a little bit of factual information. And you can click to go other places to find out more. But if we zoom all the way down into center field, okay, and we're kind of standing in center field, now's where you tip your head. So we're going to tip our head up, and that will bring the city to life in 3D. Not every building is in 3D, but in this case, by turning north, there's nothing over there 3D. But we come back around this way, and there's a couple buildings in downtown Akron that are in 3D. Okay, this building is the National City Center. Okay, and there's different panorama videos or images you can look at. But this would be a 3D image. You can also click and pull up imagery of them building something you know, and you can read what they're doing, but I'm just playing so you get to see how it works. I can move, get a different angle, but I'm not really impressed with downtown Akron, so I'm going to go somewhere else. Let's go to New Orleans. Okay, so I'm going to fly to New Orleans. Immediately it flies you to the city you talked about. This, I think, will give us a little bit better skyscrapers and view of the world. You can tell where downtown is by where all the 360s are and all the imagery. So if you zoom down in closer to that, you'll see that downtown's up this way a little bit. And there it says New Orleans. So right there's about downtown. I'm going to show you 2 or 3 things right now. First is the 360s. By zooming into a 360, you go into a 3-dimensional world. And once it loads, you're actually seeing it as it is 3-dimensional in a panorama. Whoops, I'm sorry, I zoomed out. Doesn't want me to go into it. Okay, I'm not sure why it's giving me this icon. Okay, I don't know, let's try this again. Sorry about that one. Not sure what happened, but that's part of the problem with using Google Earth. It can be very confusing to get things to work the way you want. So I'll try another 360 and see if we can get in there. Let's see if it takes us in. There we go. I guess we just have to wait. It gives you a panoramic view so you can control this way to see this image in real photographic panoramic view. Of course, there's people walking. This is Jackson Square in New Orleans. Okay, and so you can kind of spin around and see everything in that region. You exit your photo, you come back out, and now if we tilt our head up, we'll see downtown New Orleans come alive. The bigger the city, the more 3D imagery you're going to see. So by spinning around, I can now get a view of downtown New Orleans. Zoom out a little bit so we can get a bigger view of the city. And here you can see downtown New Orleans with the Mississippi River. We learned 2 things in class. You tag where you go. So you write New Orleans, and you say OK. That appears here in your places. Turn layers off. Okay, and then your screenshot, which was Command-Shift-4. That gives you this cursor, and now you can take a screenshot of what you're seeing. That screenshot appears on your desktop, and so now you can embed this in your history with Holman. So I will go ahead and do that in just a second. The beauty of this, once you get it, is now I can fly back to Beechwood Middle School with a push of a button. And as we talk about Beechwood Middle School and blah, 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 the geography or whatever it may need to be, and then I mentioned New Orleans, we can immediately fly back to New Orleans without looking for it and come to that same angle to see New Orleans from an interesting perspective. So that's why we tag. Our screenshots are meant to drag in to prove you did something. Now I have Ohio Stadium, New York City. I didn't do that, but this was New Orleans. So I drag it in. There's New Orleans, and I can make it smaller so it fits in my history with Holman, and now I have New Orleans. And I guess I'll change this to say New Orleans. I don't know why I keep writing. And there's a picture of New Orleans. So you've added into your history with Holman, you've tagged it, and you got an image. The last one a lot of you wanted to talk about was the street view, so I'm going to go over here by the Superdome. There's the Superdome, the New Orleans Superdome, and by dragging this little fella down here, you can go to Street View, and it will take you into Street View, which is a live image like you saw before. This allows you to spin around and to see the city from this ground level, which is a pretty cool feature. Okay, again, the images are all live, so you can look at the Superdome at night. So you can see a variety of things from Street View, and you exit Street View. Okay. Couple things about it. The only other thing I'll show you, well, I'm not going to show you that. Those are the things we went over today. How to tag something by using your push pen, okay? And how to take screenshots. Command Shift 4 will let you take the screenshot. It's now on your desktop. And then how to fly to places. And we'll fly to one more place, New York. And it will fly you there. And you can scroll down on Lower Manhattan. Okay, and now I know where this is because I've seen it a little bit, but here is the site of the new memorial for the World Trade Center, right there. And again, we could zoom down, just show you this again, and then tilt your head up, and you get a visual of what it looks like around Ground Zero in New York City. Okay, and you can spin and see things from a variety of angles. And so that's basically how you use Google Earth. Tag and you go. Okay, we will be using it tomorrow in class. We'll probably have a little like find a place or two on Wednesday for a little quiz. Okay, have a good day.